הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom
Shabbat Shalom.
and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I want to issue my annual reminder that it is okay to say Happy New Year while at temple. It is not Rosh Hashanah, but that is okay. Because in fact, ancient Judaism celebrated 4 New Years, some of which dealt with the mundane details of how to count the age of animals and trees and produce, leading to a schedule for taxes. So celebrating January 1st as a secular New Year is not out of place at all. And it's a way for us to count time according to the society that we live in. It is not holy like Rosh Hashanah, but we can still enjoy it. So I invite you to turn to your neighbors to wish them Shabbat Shalom, Happy New Year if you like. Please introduce yourselves if you don't know each other. We also wish Shabbat Shalom to the people who are joining us on our live stream. And to really welcome, and yes, we waved them. You guys are so well trained. Didn't even have to say it. We bring in Shabbat with the lighting of candles, and we've just had a week of lighting candles, of lighting Hanukkah candles. And Hanukkah candles, we are taught, are specifically to help us publicize the miracle of Hanukkah. So we're publicizing it to others. Shabbat is a less public way of lighting candles because it's really, these lights are a reminder not to broadcast that we are celebrating Shabbat, but to really remind ourselves that when we light those candles, we are setting aside this day as a holy day, a day of rest and renewal. So we'll join together in the lighting of candles.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
And we continue now with Kiddush, blessing this holy day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen, Shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikrahe kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch ata Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim.
This time it has become our custom to invite people to share good things that have happened to them this week or since you were last with us for Shabbat, so we can celebrate together as a community all of the good things happening for us. Anybody have something they want to share? Yes. That is wonderful. A friend's nephew who got a new kidney, may the kidney bring him to new health. Thank you. Anybody else? Something good that, yeah, Stephen. Stephen officially closed on his home, so he is a homeowner. Mazel tov. Yeah.
I completed my master's degree.
Yes, Rachel Glazer, our Assistant Director of Youth Education and Engagement, completed her master's degree. Yeah. You're getting your... Margot is getting her ears pierced tomorrow. Mazel tov. Yes. Wow. Okay, a New Year's Eve restaurant that you've gone to for over 30 years and you've had a wonderful time. Rituals are good. Yeah. Okay, I'm confused. Your youngest son is coming for a surprise visit, so who is the surprise for? Oh, everything is a surprise. So if you're surprised he's coming to visit, but now it won't be a surprise when he shows up. We hope he'll show up. Enjoy your visit. Mayor. What? How nice that you are celebrating now. You're celebrating that school is going to be coming back in session on Monday. Yeah. You are going on a trip to Atlanta in 2 weeks. Wonderful. We hope you have a good time. Anybody else? All right. Yes. Your son-in-law is going to be a race in Hong Kong, like a running race. May he run swiftly. And your daughter Lee, who works here at Charlotte Jewish Preschool, is going to Italy for training. Wonderful. Okay. All right, for all of these things good things that have happened to us, and for all the other things that we haven't said out loud, we offer the Shechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh
I said a couple of minutes ago that the lights of Shabbat really are a reminder to ourselves to set aside this day. And I feel like Kabbalat Shabbat, the next part of the service, is just in case we didn't get the message when we lit the candles. We now officially welcome in Shabbat. So if it's been hard for us to let go of our week, we have this new opportunity to officially tell Shabbat it is welcome and we are letting go of our week.
Shabbat, nekabel.
learned in Shabbat, we have warmed up our voices and our souls, so we enter our prayers with the Baruch Hu.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
Every year, shortly before New Year's, my cousin Sandy sends me an amaryllis bulb planted in a small pot of dirt. And every year I faithfully water it and watch the stalk and leaves slowly push out of the bulb until a few weeks later, the buds of flowers start to roll open, petal by petal, into delicate and beautiful flowers. This bulb is the only plant that I successfully grow each year. Everything else I forget to water or I damage in some other way. But somehow, watching new life unfold at the turn of the year in the darkness of winter, in a bulb that's designed to live no matter what you do to it, it keeps me coming back to the counter every couple of days to see if my bulb needs water. This single bulb holds for me a sense of promise and awe in the wonder of creation. We praise God for creation with the words of Roll into Dark.
Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות בביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. As you all might have heard at services past, leading up to holidays past, our Micha Mocha prayer is often our musical sort of, helps us have a little flag that comes up in our brains that says, hey, something's coming or something maybe just went by. And so we'll sing our Micha Mocha prayer this evening. Can you tell we just got back from winter break? My brain's not fully processing yet. We'll sing our Micha Mocha prayer to the tune of Old Lang Syne in honor of this new secular year on our calendar. Micha Mocha Bailim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehilot Osef Ele, Nora
I will talk a bit more about Joseph. But in our Torah portion, we are in the middle of the Joseph saga. I want to prepare us to pray Hashkivenu tonight by thinking for a minute about Joseph. Hashkivenu is a prayer that speaks to our fears. We recite it at night before we go to sleep, when our fears have time to creep up on us and disturb our rest. Imagine for a moment how much Joseph needed the words of Hashkivenu. At night in the pit where he was thrown by his brothers, on the road to Egypt under the guard of slave traders, lying in the cell of the palace prison, anticipating going before Pharaoh. Hashkivenu speaks to all of his fears, asking God to help us lie down in peace and then rise up tomorrow ready to face the day. It's a reminder that each of us has fears that keep us awake. Perhaps they are global fears about war and the environment. Perhaps they are national fears about leadership transitions and legislative changes. Perhaps they are personal fears about relationships, about finances, or about health. Whatever fears we each hold, we face them together when we draw strength from our voices raised in prayer, asking for God to help us find peace and comfort. Rise for the Amidah, the center section of our service. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la la.
ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
I invite you to be seated. And I invite you to take a few moments for silent prayer, grounding yourself in this space and this time to offer to God the words of your own heart.
May the
drawing strength from our community, we reach out to all of the people of Israel as we offer this prayer for the state of Israel. I invite you to join me. Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessing for the people of Israel. Source of life, Mikor HaChaim, bless and protect those who defend the land. Guide them safely home. Holy and blessed one, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, grant Israel's leaders wisdom and courage as they pursue peace with strength and compassion. Freer of captives, Matir Asurim, safely return all who are kidnapped without further loss of innocent life. Master of compassion, Baal HaRachamim, help us hold the pain and suffering of both the Israeli and Palestinian peoples. Teach us to walk your path of peace, turning fear into trust, conflict into understanding, and weapons into tools for building. Lead us to a future where no nation lifts a sword against another, and war is no more. Now having offered prayers for the pain that our people are suffering in the land of Israel, we offer prayers for the pain and the healing that is needed for individuals who are in need of healing of the body or healing of the mind. You'll see behind me scrolling the names of those whom we know to be in need of healing this Shabbat. We also invite you to share out loud the names of anyone you are thinking about, whether they're in need of healing of the body or healing of the mind or spirit. Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed is God who brings on healing. As I mentioned briefly before Hashkivenu, our Torah portion this week is in the middle of the Joseph saga. The Torah portion is called Vayigash. So to remind you of the narrative, Joseph is sold into slavery by his brothers. After refusing to give in to his master's wife, he is thrown in jail, and while in jail interprets the dreams of Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker. And when the cupbearer is restored to favor and the Pharaoh has dreams himself that needs interpreting, Joseph is brought out of jail to interpret them. He predicts that there will be 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine, and Pharaoh appoints him as second in command. But I feel like there's something missing from the story. There are enough dramas about courts and what happens in palaces. So if we use our imagination and imagine the intrigue around the Pharaoh's palace, there must have been different people vying for the Pharaoh's attention and control. So it doesn't feel like Joseph would have just been put in charge so easily. How did he prove himself? I am not the only one who asked this question, because the rabbis have a midrash with an answer. They capitalize on the fact that the Torah tells us repeatedly that God was with Joseph. God was with Joseph in slavery. God was with Joseph in jail. But how was God with him? Here's the story. When Pharaoh brought Joseph up from the jail and told him his dreams, Joseph offered his interpretation, 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine, and advises Pharaoh to appoint someone who has the wisdom to save up during the years of plenty and then distribute them appropriately during the famine. When Pharaoh suggests to his advisors, according to the Midrash, that he knows no one who has the level of wisdom needed to conquer this task except for Joseph, the advisors protest. How can you ask us to take direction from a man whose master bought him for only 20 silver coins? Pharaoh insists again, and then his advisors remind him of a small Egyptian law that the Pharaoh and his second in command must have the ability to speak the 70 languages spoken in the world. And imagine that in a rabbinic language, 70 really just means all the languages. So the Pharaoh and his second in command are supposed to speak every language in the world. Pharaoh sat on a throne, according to the Midrash, at the top of a staircase with 70 steps. And when you were speaking to Pharaoh, you stood on the step equal to the number of languages that you knew. So if you wanted to feel at all close to Pharaoh and be able to get his attention, you had to know a lot of languages. So Pharaoh agrees with his advisors that I will test Joseph the next day. Joseph is sent back to his cell for the night, and here is where God is with him. According to the Midrash, the angel Gabriel visits Joseph and starts quizzing him. It's like Rosetta Stone on steroids. Because Gabriel, it says, teaches him all of the 70 languages. But it starts to be morning and Joseph still doesn't know all of them. So the angel Gabriel changes his name slightly and adds the letter He into the middle of his name, putting Yud He at the beginning of his name, which is part of the name of God. So basically, Gabriel is kind of infusing Joseph with some godliness. And that is what does it. Joseph has mastered the languages. So the next day, Pharaoh tests him by speaking to him in each language. And each time that Joseph responds, he goes up another step. Until at the end of this test, he is standing face to face with Pharaoh, and Pharaoh appoints him as second in command. It is this moment that positions Joseph to rescue his family from famine and to set the course for the future of the Jewish people. The ancient Midrash, though, misses one point, and it's an idea added by modern Jewish storyteller Joel Lurie Grishaber. He points out that Joseph's ability to speak 70 languages then allowed him, throughout the famine, to speak with each of the groups that traveled from abroad to find food in Egypt. The languages that he learned to satisfy Pharaoh's crazy requirements actually enable him to facilitate the response to the famine. This is the Joseph that I think should inspire us. The Joseph that responds to the needs of people from all over the world. The Joseph that changes the impact of a devastating famine through his foresight and organization. The Joseph that talks with each group of people who come before him in their own language. Imagine the impact a person like Joseph could make today in the world. A person who could find creative solutions to the world's problems, a person who could communicate across all differences of language and culture. It might not be realistic to imagine that that could happen in one person, or that an angel is going to miraculously gift us with the wisdom to solve all of the world's problems at once. But at the beginning of this new year, it may be realistic to think about acquiring new knowledge or a new skill that will enable us to make a small difference in the world. This suggestion is a little different than a resolution. It's a commitment to learning something new, and a commitment to being open to new knowledge or new ideas. So over this Shabbat, over the next 24, 25 hours, I invite each of us to imagine something that we could learn this year that could be used to make a small difference in the world around us. What small piece of wisdom might prompt us to action? Action that could tilt the world toward a little more kindness or a little more peace. Shabbat Shalom. We continue now with Aleinu, and I invite you to rise.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. At this point in our service, we think of those who are no longer with us, those whose time on earth may have been cut short, but while they were here, made an impact on our life, and whose memory continues to make our lives stronger. Our congregation mourns the loss of Kenny Pearl. And in our Shloshim list, those lost in the last 30 days, we also remember Goldie Burson, Olivia Cohen, Pirette Cecil, and Sammy Simon. And we mark the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of George Adams, Robert Andrews, Ronald Aqua, Larry Allen Bernstein, Edward Blau, Anne Bernstein Brown, Zachary Charles Carter, Lee Chazen, Ruth Clayman, Donald Irwin Cohen, Magdalena Encarnacion, David Fileski, Saul Fenichel, Warner Fox, Robert Frisch, Milton Ginsburg, Neil Goldstein, Stephen Greenberg, Aurora Guadarrama, Jay Hickman, Hannah Jacobson, Ken Johnson, Heinz Jordan, Justa Juris, Margaret Cartus, Jenny Kreifitz, Roy Lilienfeld, Ilya Margolis, Selma Molaski, Mort Myers, Marjorie Millard, Barbara Nikel, David Robert Orbow, Sherry Pollock, Edward Pollock, Israel Saslaw, Gertrude Sass, Andrea Sattler, Jason David Schwartz, Murray Selman, Max Sosnowitz, Jean Spatz, Isidore Sternfels, George Isaac Vernick, Stanley Wahlberg, Sue Warschauer, Sybil Weingart, Isidore J. Weinstein, Mildred Weiss, Carolyn Cohen Witten, Larry Wittes, and Phil Wittes. If you are remembering someone this Shabbat and would like to add their name to our list, I invite you to share their name out loud at this time. Zichronam Livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. We rise as one community in solidarity with those who mourn to recite Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'almei almaya. Yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'reichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen.
You may be seated. It's my pleasure to invite forward Beth Rychek to share announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Well, it's January and we are back in full swing here at the temple, and we have a bunch of events happening this week. Tomorrow on Saturday, Shabbat, we have Tat Shabbat here at the temple at 9:30 a.m. Little ones and their grown-ups are invited for music, dancing, prayers, crafts, and snacks with our clergy and Miss Patty. Also starting tomorrow on Saturday and then continuing for subsequent Saturday nights, a total of 5 Saturday nights, we will be supporting Roof Above and providing shelter and food for the unhosted this winter. We'll be hosting participants at Queen's University, and you can volunteer your time or donate essential items. On Monday night, there's Monday Night Trivia with TBE Jam at 6:45 at Monday Night Brewing. Then on Thursday, there's Brotherhood First Thursday, but it's on a second Thursday. At 6:30 p.m. at Duckworth's Grill and Tap House in Ray Farms. Enjoy great food, craft brews, and good conversation. Later this month, we have 2 very special Shabbatot coming up. Next Shabbat, Friday, January 10th, and Saturday, January 11th, we are honoring and celebrating the installation of our new cantor. Still new. We can still call you new until your installation. Cantor Rudnitsky. The weekend begins on Friday evening with a special Shabbat service and installation ceremony, followed by a community-wide Shabbat dinner. On Saturday, join us for Torah study, an interactive Shabbat in the round, and an adults-only Cantor's Coffee House performance with Havdalah. Some events require registration, so visit the website and reserve your spot today. And then the following Shabbat, we have another very special Shabbat on Saturday, January 18th, with MLK Parade Shabbat Study and Worship, honoring Dr. King's legacy by joining Rabbi Nichols and Rabbi Erdheim for a special Shabbat experience at the Charlotte MLK Parade. We'll gather at the corner of Tryon and 11th Streets at 9 a.m. for a brief justice-centered Torah study and worship before walking in the parade together.
And if you're looking at the slide, I assure you, we are not gathering at 6:30 in the morning. That is a typo. I will be asleep.
So meet Rabbi Nichols at 9 a.m., not at 6:30. And there will be no Torah study or Shabbat services at Temple Bethel that morning or on Zoom. So if you're looking for your Shabbat morning experience on the 18th, then join Rabbi Nichols and Rabbi Erdheim in Uptown. For details and registration for all of those events and much more, visit our shul calendar and Shabbat Shalom.
We'll conclude again with our nigun for the new year, with joy and gratitude for having arrived in this new and hopefully special and happy and healthy and joyful time.